Nigeria Info. Welcome and thanks to our guest, GD Pat. And I guess we can all agree that there is some insights that's been provided us in order to glean, even though from a distance, what could be happening out there in the world of money, crude, and where the people lie in that equation. Honey, let me be the one to tell you, it doesn't quite appear that there's much of you in that conversation. It's profit, profit, profit. Let's talk 0201 2770 993, 0201 465 7190, and 08095975805. My name's Joyce. You're on the sunny side. It's Open Thought Tuesday. Welcome to Nigeria Info. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you. Good afternoon to you. What's your name?
Good afternoon, Joyce. How are you doing?
I'm good. Thank you. Welcome.
Jonathan is my name. Is your guest in the house?
Oh, he left.
Oh,
You have
I
a
will have
question?
wish he's around.
So what's your question? Let's see.
No, it's a commentary. Joyce, I suspect most of these professionals, there is an angle of this discussion I sense most of them are always running away from.
Oh.
And it was Dangote that exposed that angle to me personally because I never saw it coming. And it's the angle of IOC, International Oil Company. I wouldn't work because all of them always don't talk towards that direction. I don't know why.
Okay, so what's your question? I can just...
Dangote made me to understand that is what they call IOC. And we Nigeria never had any crude oil. We have crude oil in proxy now. Because the IOC are the one in charge of the crude oil because we have sold it to them.
Okay.
And that is why they were not finding it difficult to give Dangote the crude oil. At the first instance, you remember. Now, what I want to try to say is this. They should explain the angle of this IOC to us, to me in particular, because who signed this contract with this IOC? This is our God-given wealth.
Yeah.
And I don't expect any IOC that will leave his own country because we don't have capacity to go to onshore to go and bring it out. Then they will not come to our country and now be dictating to us. And that is the reason why you saw the president, they said sell in naira in dollar. They are converting dollar to naira. Like I told you the other day, they were just merry-go-round in a circle. So I don't know why they always run away from the angle of this discussion. I have sensed.
Well, it may not have been deliberate, So I mean, I can understand.
I want to believe it's becoming deliberate. I'm sensing. I'm sensing they are shying away from speaking directly to those IOC.
I get it, but you see, because you didn't have the privilege to actually ask him the question directly, and him failing to answer, you may need to withhold judgment. I don't think it would be accurate because
you are very correct.
Yeah, it's possible that there could be a void in it, but if you didn't ask him and he didn't answer,
it's just like something I've observed, not only him, even across the board.
You know what's going to happen? Yeah, the next guy I get, particularly if it's GDA or any other guy, I'm going to ask them that question first.
Thank you very much.
Right.
They need to explain a lot of things down to us.
Well,
thank you.
Thank you for calling Nigeria Info. You're on the sunny side. Welcome to the show. Hello. Sorry, make it back. You're on the sunny side. Good afternoon to you. I want to get your reaction to much of what you've heard. Yeah, Nigeria Info. Everything that you've heard. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon once again, Joyce.
Afternoon to you. Thank you.
Yeah, my name is Engineer Kundayo. I listen to Jide.
Yeah.
And I must commend you for bringing him on. The problem with Nigeria, one is corruption, half-truths, and mismanagement of our resources. You see, the explanation he gave, and the ones that I've been able to get, by personal study, I mean, that's why we're in a mess in the country. That's why everybody is suffering now. You see, so I'm just calling to commend you.
Oh, thank you.
And if there's a way you can bring in other experts. You see, the problem of Nigeria is just corruption.
How many more experts?
Nothing more than that.
How many more experts would you need to really tell you that's what you already know?
Well, if he had stayed another 30 minutes, I think people like me would have benefited more.
Oh.
Because honest, it was making sense and it was enlightening me.
Yeah.
You see, so this is just my comment.
Yeah.
I want to really commend your efforts.
Sure.
And if there is a way, because all this information we are getting, is what NNPC is supposed to give us. Look at what Jonathan just said. Now, back to what Jonathan said. These IOCs are international oil companies. I learned from dependable sources that the previous government of Buhari, they actually took money off in advance, upfront, in exchange for crude. That is fraudulent. It's fraudulent. And some time ago, this some 2 months ago, the Mele Kyari, this NNPC guy, he wanted to sign another contract before the National Assembly members stopped him. So that's why we are suffering. We have mortgaged our future to all these foreign interests. And so the honest, they can do whatever they like with us. Thank you.
Sure. Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side.
Joyce, good afternoon.
Thank you very much for being here. What's your name?
My name is Robert.
Welcome, Rob.
I'm much concerned about price. I listened to your guest, all what he said, but my major concern is the price. How will it be easier for we to buy the something very cheap here in Nigeria since we have crude here? I want to believe that the government was subsidizing this fuel because we were exporting crude outside, refining their big bags. So the cost of refining is what the government was paying for. Now, my question, what I wanted to ask your guys, we have a situation whereby we have numerous refineries in both government-owned and private ones, just like South Africa. What will happen to the price of fuel?
He answered the question. He actually did give a direct answer to that question.
No, your guess, your guest was talking about the international exchange rate here in Nigeria. You have much refineries, government-owned refineries, just like don't you think that the factors of demand and supply will bring that?
You barely got one off the ground. No, so here he answered the question. Your government needs to implement policies that benefit the Nigerian people. In the absence of that, these guys are here to make money. He did give answer to that. He did speak on it. You want 30 refineries, you can barely get one off the ground.
No, because he said that even though you have refinery don't bring down the price of fuel.
Well, when I asked him the question about the possibility of this now new contract from South Korea investors who are coming to construct 4 refineries, he says to have them is fantastic. It could drive down the price. Could is not something it's not a bankable statement. Could is not something that you want. You want your government to say Nigerians, after much consideration, will buy petrol lower than market prices or lower than international market prices. You don't have that. You're told that the market factors will determine price. So as long as your naira continually falls against the dollar, welcome to hell. Hello, how are you? Turn up the volume of your radio, Sad.
You are complaining, we're complaining. Do you know that the chemical we use to form the petrol is from the foreign countries they bought them? The machine from the foreign countries. Everything about it is just only the crude we have here. So if we have the crude and we don't have the chemical, how do we come to form it to become petrol? Then the question I'm supposed to ask is this. Those ones that they find the local ones, that they go and they bomb their place in the Niger Delta, destroy their equipment, why not organize those people? Let them join hands in refining the local ones. So combine with the one in refinery. If they can do so now, I think the thing will come down to the normal way where a man like me can see and buy.
All right.
The one I feel like buying, I can buy. If it's the one that comes from Dangote refinery, I buy. If the one that they come from the local ones, I buy, as long as my engine is not affected. So I think we need to encourage the local ones.
Who's going to encourage them?
Yes.
Who's going to encourage them? Nigerians, look, sometimes I wonder if you're really aware. I wonder if you're truly awake. Like, what's the purpose of bringing these experts if there's you and then there's fantasy? Like, really, what's the point? Might as well just sit down together in a campfire, and just paint pictures of a utopia. You don't have a utopia. It's not rocket science to establish refineries, but you don't have it for obvious reasons. Stop dreaming. Like, there's a time in your life where dreaming is beautiful. Well, there's a time to dream, and then there's a time to wake up. You're clinging desperately to your dreams. It's morning out here. It will soon be night. Hello, how are you? Go ahead. Good.
Yeah, from all Mr. Pratt said, it seems the greatest culprit is the foreign exchange. Now, I'm beginning to wonder if that is like what we should be looking at targeting to bring down the prices of things, create employment, put money in people's pocket. Why is the president and his team now working on that? Why is there no plan to encourage production or something? Maybe we need to bring another expert. Is it a case of incompetence or a case of conspiracy?
What do you think it is?
Western power?
Why don't you want to accept what's obvious? You want me to bring another expert to tell you what you already know?
No, what I'm saying, is it incompetence that the president and his team can look in that direction and develop a plan? Or is it a conspiracy from Western power to bring down our purchasing power and destroy the economy? What is going on? Because
I'll bring another expert.
Fiscal policies can't sort it out.
Okay.
It's only increasing the GDP that can bring you export to earn.
I'll bring another
expert.
Not
doing that. It's not developing that. What is the problem?
Thank you so much. Well, yeah, I just wonder about the expert part. But yeah, I'll do that again. That shouldn't be hard.
Is it incompetent?
You don't know what it is?
Everybody's seeing it and nobody's doing anything.
Well, yeah.
Thank you, George.
Sure. Nigeria Info, you're on the sunny side.
Hello, Joyce. Good afternoon.
Afternoon to you.
My name is Onyemuwa.
Good to have you. Great.
Okay, let me come outside because of your brother network.
My brother.
Okay, let me start this way. Dollars is useless as Nigerian naira. But for the Americans and co to make their dollar powerful, they come to Africa and borrow us their own currency with a conditions of our natural resources. Now they have came with global warming agendas that Nigeria should stop using car to save their planet. 1. 2, when you collect money from foreign helpers, then you become a slave. Then by the time they give you condition with your natural resources, then their useless dollar become powerful because they don't need their own dollar back from you. They need your resources. Let me put this way in conclusion. During the time of Jonathan, they are selling crude oil at 100 naira per dollar. And the Nigeria government said they have to sell the crude oil petrol for us at the rate of international oil market. And we are buying fuel there, 140 naira per liter. When this government come, now, a crude oil now is $77 per liter. Per crude oil, no longer 100. That means we're supposed to buy fuel 140 naira or 200 naira. But the government knows that all Nigerian citizens are not useless, they are not illiterate, they are not stupid. What can we do to confuse them? They now come with another agenda of floating your naira. They are now telling us that the problem we are having now is that the naira is depreciating. So they are not selling crude oil or selling liter of fuel for us again, according to international market, but according to the float of your naira. So they purposely destroy the naira so that they can be selling fuel for us at 1,200. And it's amazing me, it's even amazing the president, the way Nigeria are enduring and enduring. I am so sure that even Tinubu is amazing. That from 187 naira per liter to 1,000 plus, Nigeria is still enduring to buying it. That means still going to 2,000. All the experts coming here talking. See, the government knows what they are doing. Until our enduring come to an end, all of us will use bicycle our leg. Thank you.
Sure. 99.3 Nigeria info. You're on the sunny side. Make it back. My name's Joyce. What's your name?
Hello.
Turn up the volume of your radio set.
Welcome to this Usman for Balidi.
Welcome, Usman.
Good afternoon, Mrs. Joy Abi.
Exactly.
See, because you know, me, I don't normally call your show. I already did.
Okay.
But what's your caller now? They are just saying big expert, big another expert. Say they will make the fuel price come down. I don't understand. Look at the airship. Say all this expert that you fight to your studio. They will not come and talk. Are they going to make everything come down? I don't understand. Look at the inflation. I don't know. This country, I say we the citizens, we are the problem of this country. Let people get up and face these people. How many are they? How many? Over 200 million people. There are few people that never reach 1 million. Look at the airship. We are just carrying for just call. Talk. See here, nothing. Sometimes they say, okay, come out for protest. So we see call later today again. Say, don't block the road, though. We want to protest, so don't block the road. Okay, now see the airship. Now see everything. Now everything turned upside down. We are still carrying for talk money. We still talk the same thing. There's no solution. Nothing. The politicians, they are still using us. They are still using us. There's no solution. Nothing. They don't carry for talk money till now. Tomorrow night we see the problem. See yet, no solution. I don't understand for this. I don't understand for this Nigerian people. I don't understand. Let we get up and face these people. How many are they? Stand up and fight for your country before the country perish. Because as I listen to Nigeria is finished. I'm telling you the truth, it's finished. Thank you.
What's that station again?
Oh yeah, Kemo, come
No.
Here's one thing you need to know about yourself. So like here we dey talk.
Yep, bullseye. That's the one.
You're listening to 99.3 Nigeria Info's The Sunny Side.
The Sunny Side.
Welcome. My name's Joyce.
Nigeria Info. We'll be right back. 365 days of conflict. Hamas attack on Israel on October 7th killed 1,200. To date, Israel has killed over 14,000 children. These are not just numbers, they are lives forever changed. Join us for the first of our annual Borderlines Debate, a symposium on the Middle East crisis, Thursday, November 7th at 4 p.m. A forum where ambassadors, diplomats, and humanitarian voices will gather to debate the yesterday, today, and the way forward for Israel, Palestine, and the Middle East. Is there a pathway for peace? The Borderlines Debate, November 7th at 4 p.m. This is a chance to hear from both sides. Real stories, real stakes, real solutions. Don't miss the repeat broadcast on Friday, November 8th at 4 p.m. Borderlines Debate, Thursday, November 7th at 4 p.m. Only on Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
Welcome back to your number one talk, news, and sports station. This is Nigeria Info.
Nigeria Info.
The Sunny Side, 99.3 Nigeria Info. Hold on a second. I don't know if Labaras or Shama. Libaris is on the telephone. Oh, my goodness. Sir, can you call me? Libaris would like to explain the IOC angle to you. Sir, I'm on air, so if you can call me now, I'll just put you on air, and I have 3 minutes for that. Mr. Libaris, is this convenient for you? Can he call me? Oh, I sincerely do apologize. I'm just really getting to see this. Libaris wanted to explain. If he would, that would be great. Let's see. Is he calling? He says bring another expert. I don't know if he's being cynical. All of you asking me to bring another expert. Okay, I guess I will. All right. Hello. You'll be my final caller. Good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon. Lucky me.
You're my final caller. Lucky you.
Yeah. Michael, my name.
Go ahead, please. Go ahead.
The question I wanted to ask your friend, Pratt, was do you have additional products in the crude?
He did say
Why
that.
is it the price of just PMS we are considering, abandoning other products?
Which one affects you immediately and directly?
Come again?
Which one affects you directly and immediately?
Sincerely, PMS though, even kerosene, all of it. All of it.
Yeah, so you're not, what? I'm not sure what the question is. Are you not satisfied with the...
By transport, in the air, by kerosene service, by PMS, we are all affected.
I mean, now you're trying to point out something he didn't quite touch, which he did, not necessarily settled on it. But you're not grateful enough that this was some insightful conversation?
No, that would not be the right word. I wouldn't say I'm not grateful, but I'm saying that the knowledge is not enough.
It's not enough?
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
I would like to know more.
I mean, I might as well just open up a school at this point. All right. I'll remember that.
Thank you.
Sure. Yeah, Nigerians, we're off on a break. I want to thank you so much for your commentary. We'll be right back. About less than a minute, we'll be bringing... it's not less than a minute. Vaughn has... You know what? Musical break. Then on the other side of the hour, I have Overdose in the studio. He will be sharing for me some comprehending as to what's happening between Nigeria and Libya. Such a broad daylight disrespect to all of us as a collective. Let's find out what's happening. We'll be right back in the meantime.
This is the most...
It's 2:00.
The headline news on 99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Here are the headlines this hour. There's a new tax bill currently in the National Assembly for consideration. If passed by the lawmakers, wealthy Nigerians earning 100 million naira and above monthly will face a 25% personal income tax rate. Meanwhile, financial expert Tunde Amulegbe is against any plan to increase a tax or tariff. Away from that, monkeypox has spread to 25 states and the Federal Capital Territory as the People's Democratic Party challenges the victory of the All Progressives Congress at the just concluded Edo State governorship election. And in preparation For the November 16th governorship election in Ondo State, the Independent National Electoral Commission says the collection of permanent voter cards in all the 203 wards will commence on Thursday. The Nigeria-Libya Congress says it is not silent on the recent increase in the price of petrol. Public affairs analyst Sir Leonard Ayogo is calling on the National Judicial Council to punish errant judges and litigants, while the African Descendants in Diaspora Union is asking the Nigerian government to grant its members who have traced their roots to Nigeria citizenship rights. The Libyan Football Federation has condemned Nigeria's decision to withdraw from the scheduled 2025 Africa Cup of Nations qualifier in Libya, and the pilot who flew the Nigerian team has shed more light on the controversy in the wake of the crisis between the Nigerian authorities and Libya over the ill treatment meted out to the Super Eagles. Those are the headlines. You are listening to The Sunny Side with Joyce on 99.3 Nigeria Info. I am Yvonne Ohaifo. Stay here, Lagos.
You are listening to Open Thought on The Sunny Side with Joyce. Let's talk.
And we're dancing on the edge of a knife. Could I be your hero or your villain? I guess it just depends in whose eyes.
Nine point three Nigeria Info. The sunny side. We're pushing down to 3 p.m. on the sunny side. My name's Joyce. Time check 5 minutes past 2 p.m. All right, James Arthur. The sunny side. Welcome. My name is Joyce. I have a company with me in the studio. I have a colleague with me in the studio. His name's Overdosed, like literally overdosed. How are you?
I'm good, Joyce. Good to be here. Good afternoon to everybody.
This is the first time ever.
First time ever, yeah.
We're sharing the same breathing space.
Yeah, no, I think it's the second time.
Have you ever been on my show before?
No, you've been on mine.
Doing what?
Oh, you've forgotten so soon, Joyce.
I certainly have. I wouldn't be there.
You were talking about a man who needed help, raise awareness. He was sick. Was his wife or himself that was sick on the bed that you needed money and you were
I don't remember. Okay.
Yeah, you remember that.
Well, that's a different thing.
But we share the same space, so that's literally like you coming to my space, and now I'm returning
we don't share the
now
same
I'm returning the favor.
No, we don't share the same space. Silly.
But it's good to be here.
Thank you so much for being here. Now, the reason I wanted you here is because What is this insult that appears to now be on a global scale that Libya thinks we're deserving of? I mean, I think I understand racism, but this is rather stupid. Even it makes them look stupid.
It does in all contexts, and it stemmed from the first leg. So Libya, they were coming to Nigeria to play the first leg, and they felt some sort of ill treatment from the NFF, which of course, the NFF came out to clear. So apparently the NFF, of course, it's common knowledge that when a football team wants to go on a match in another country, there are delegations of the host country that are able to receive them. So the NFF were in Uyo waiting for the Libyans to arrive, only for them 2 hours to landing, telling the NFF delegation that they will land in Port Harcourt instead of Uyo. And the NFF had already, through, of course, the man in charge of logistics, Emmanuel Ayabumi, they had made provisions to actually take the Libyans to their hotel in Uyo, but they preferred to land. They didn't communicate early. So even as at the time when they were leaving Libya, Emmanuel Ayabumi reached out to the Secretary General of the Libyan Football Federation, which he said he will get back to Emmanuel Ayabumi, but never did. Only for them to say 2 hours to landing that they'll be landing in Port Harcourt.
No, so do the players get to choose where they land? I thought it was
the official. No. So,
choose where you land.
So that's it. But they decided to choose that they were landing in Port Harcourt without prior information to the NFF. And even after they did that, the NFF still said, okay, you'll be landing in Port Harcourt. They now told the Port Harcourt, people to at least give the plane clearance so that they can land in Port Harcourt, maybe, then from Port Harcourt, they, come to you. But they felt it was extra money on their part. They can't do all that. So they decided
extra money on whose part?
On the Libyans, because it's a charter flight, so they didn't want to pay more money, for that. So they decided, okay, they're going to use buses. And then they chose buses by themselves. The NFF had made arrangements, in fact, even security, and they insisted that they were going to travel at night. So the NFF said, okay, we'll provide security, of which the captain of Libya...
What do you mean? No, but how do the Libyans insist? Like, they don't even know the terrain.
They don't know the terrain, but, somehow they just feel that, they get to choose.
Did the NFF explain to them? Because that's also
necessary.
Of course.
I mean, so the thing is, when you come to a country to play a football game, you'd submit all the logistics to the host country so that they prepare and say, okay, this is it. But they changed the plan last minute.
Okay.
They changed the plan last minute, expecting that, the NFF and Nigeria are going to perform some sort of magic and then just take them. And even the boss that they hired wasn't conditioned. NFF had provided air-conditioned buses for them, but they insisted that no, they wanted to charter their own bus. Maybe they felt, that kind of thing where you just feel, I don't want to use anything from the country, let's use our own stuff. So they paid, rather than taking a flight from Port Harcourt to Uyo, they paid for the buses and then it took them to Uyo.
So is this a case of hate for hate?
It's a case of wanting to pay us back. But the thing is, there's really, for football, because football is a game we all love. We embrace it because of the entertainment and because of the sportsmanship. But when you now leave all that and say you want to be vindictive, and this is not even being vindictive, this is pure hatred and vile behavior, because tell me how you would hold a team hostage for close to 15 plus hours without any food or water just because of what you felt you endured in Lagos, or what you felt was a, in quote, harsh treatment because, you wanted to land somewhere and they didn't come, they didn't fulfill your desires, so you just decided to, go all out, of which everything has been submitted to CAF, so we're waiting for CAF to come out with decision as to what to do to Libya.
What was CAF's response?
They said they're still investigating.
Okay.
They're still investigating the issue because the Super Eagles, left Sunday, from Kano. So as they were about to make an initial landing in Benghazi, they were told not to do that, that they should instead land in
an abandoned airport.
Al Barak. Oh, what's the name of that? Al Barak. Yes.
Okay.
So the pilot is like, I don't have much fuel, and the fuel I have is what will take me to Benghazi. And they're like, oh, it's from higher authority that the Super Eagles should not land in Benghazi. They should land in Al Barak. And of course, you know, you could tell that there was something sinister. Now, apart from that, you hold the team hostage. They cannot even answer a question as to who's coming to pick us up. In fact, they were at that airport. There were no scanning materials. The airport officials had to use their phone to scan documents of the Super Eagles coming in.
Yeah, I guess. Wow.
You understand? And then you now begin to wonder why it is that the NFF decide, because the NFF president was there in the coming of Philip Schreiber, the Edo State deputy governor, and the general secretary of the NFF, Mohamed Sanusi, was also there. They wanted to go out and say, okay, since you're not telling us which bus is going to come pick us up, let's go make our own arrangements.
Yeah.
And they're told by the airport security that they're not going anywhere.
Wow. But now before we actually curse these guys out.
Yeah.
Is it possible? Because, you know, like Nigerian,
Mm-hmm.
well, maybe not all of us, but some Nigerians have a nature to disregard both order and time. I don't know. It's almost, I'll call it nature, because if you're not necessarily nurtured in that regard, then maybe you can be a little reckless with really planning and organizing. And Nigerians are really great hosts. So can this issue on our part have been a situation where we failed at thorough planning? I mean, I get the lapse in reporting and change and last minute plans, but it does quite appear that, at least from the part of the Libyans, that Nigerians really disappointed them with little to no planning. To be fair.
So the thing is, if you're coming to a country, you need to be specific as to where you're landing. Yeah. Because you cannot tell me that you're coming to play a game in Nigeria and I tell you, okay, land in Abuja, and you go land in New York when I've already made preparations for you to land in Abuja.
Now, that flight was chartered by the Libyans, not by the Nigerians.
Not
the
by
Nigerians are supposed to know that.
Yes. So you're supposed to communicate to them and say, okay, this is where we want to land.
And they did that 2 hours before.
Just before 2 hours before landing.
Okay.
So at that point, the NFF had already, because the match was going to be played in New York. So, okay. I mean, it doesn't, and they are aware of that the match will be played in New York. Because, of course, if you're going to play a game, CAF usually gives you the itinerary, and then you get to know that, oh, okay, this is where we're going. And then you book your own hotel as well, where you're going to stay in that city where the match is going to be played.
Okay.
So they were aware of all this, but for some reason, they decided to alter the plan.
Okay.
They brought it upon themselves, if you ask me.
Let's talk about the match. Well, yeah, it's looking like they brought it upon themselves, and then they're bringing it upon us.
Yeah, like, now, like they're saying that they feel bad.
And what's this gist about? They're going to charge Nigeria.
Yeah, they're going to sue Nigeria
for
not playing.
Tell me about it, please.
So the thing is, that was after the players had come out to say, look, we've been treated badly. You cannot hold us for 15, maybe 18 plus hours, and you still expect us to play a game. It doesn't work that way. And so the NFF president and the secretary general were trying to talk to the Libyan officials. Who's coming to pick us up? You're keeping us here, and you're not saying anything. And they're like, in fact, they were so uncouth, to be honest. They were so uncouth and disrespectful that at some point it almost degenerated into some
physical.
Some sort of physical altercation. But at the end of the day, the players had to sleep on chairs at the airport. Like a whole national team of 22 players lying down on mats, on chairs, some of them even on the airport floor. Imagine an Alex Iwobi lying down on the floor. Even Stanley Wabili was like, a whole chief. How can you do this to a whole chief? The Super Eagles goalkeeper.
It was really, I think they really wanted to
wanted to grind the resolve and the spirit of the Nigerian team to a halt. They wanted to grind it, and they almost succeeded because it had to take intervention of the highest level. Yes, of course, the president, interfering and interceding, and also at the end of the day, Trustekong walked up to the NFF chairman and said, look, these guys have been put through a lot mentally, psychologically, physically. We are tired. We cannot use this mindset to go play a football game. So that game should be cancelled. And everyone was in agreement. Everyone was in consensus.
Okay.
So Nigeria decided, okay, you know what? And to even tell you that the Libyans knew what they were doing, the roof well that Nigeria had to do on their plane was 3 times the price. That was what the Libyans charged Nigeria.
No, that's not part of this era. This is all deliberate. There's no part of this era.
Three times the price just for them to refuel their plane and leave Libya.
They hate us.
They hate, like, they can't even hide it.
They're not like us, but they hate us. Is
there anybody they like? Because, I mean, really, when you look at it, I've been hearing stories about Libya, but this just
gives you
brings a new perspective, and it just brings it out in the open.
What match are you guys playing at this point? What tournament is it?
It's the qualifiers, actually, the 2025 qualifiers. And the worst thing is that this Libya that is doing all of this, bottom of the group, they have just 1 point.
But at least they have their hate. They may not have a score.
They have if they had 6 points, or maybe they were close to the Eagles, I would say, okay, maybe they feel intimidated, but they're not even cold enough. It's like an air conditioner and, this electronic hand fan that you have to press 3 times for you to have, some sort of
They're
breeze.
not your pedigree, right?
They're not even close.
They're not
I think they're not even up to a shoulder. Again, I mean, if the Super Eagles had beaten them, like, I somehow indirectly, I want to blame the Super Eagles. If they had walloped them like 7, I don't think they would do this.
No.
Because they struggled, and then Nigeria ground out a 1-0 win. So, okay, let's do this.
Let me tell you.
If you had walloped them.
Let me tell you.
Yeah.
You're quite ambitious with your assumptions. Look, maybe it's a good thing you guys came back, because had it been with this amount of hate, you guys went on to play that football match.
And
due to your, your disorientation, they win you on the pitch. There's no guarantee that they're not flogging you with brooms after that, because why not? I mean, we still beat you guys, and I think it would have been a lot more embarrassing.
They're not even worth the headache, to be honest.
So what do you think CAF is going to do with this assigning points? Because somebody's supposed to have won here, and in the absence of that,
there'll be sanctions. I hope,
or rematch, or scheduling of the match.
Maybe at a neutral venue. That's what I'm doing, but I expect Libya to be sanctioned, to be honest, because they're still coming out with a bold face claiming that they didn't do anything. After all this evidence. And even the pilot was like, come on.
Yeah, but so now, have you seen their publication about taking Nigeria to court? What exactly are they claiming?
So what they claim is that Nigeria failed to honor the match. They failed, like they failed to turn up to play. So apparently what they set out to do was that, let's demoralize these guys to the point where they don't even have anything to play for anymore, and then we have an easy win.
They're going to take Nigeria to court because Nigeria failed to honor the match after what they did to Nigeria.
It's like flogging someone and saying they shouldn't cry. That's just to put it mildly. You flogged me so hard and saying, don't cry. Just take it like a man.
Now this is. I mean, it's hilarious in a sense.
Very, very hilarious.
Almost feels like a psychopathic movie.
I couldn't have said it better, to be honest. Like, this Malcolm X kind of movie?
Maybe
Jason.
Oh, wow, we're going to court now to defend ourselves. Oh, okay.
That they didn't cancel the match, that they feel pained. And in fact, they came out to say that they apologized to their fans for the Super Eagles not turning up. Imagine gaslighting. So that's what it is.
So from the perspective of the pilot, what did you pick out that could have maybe added to the story?
So what I picked out is that it was just deliberate. How can you tell a pilot that he should not land where he's supposed to land? Because the Super Eagles had all the documents for them to land in Benghazi. And now you tell him just before he initiates a landing move that he cannot land because from higher sources he's been told to move to Al Abrak.
Okay, can we hear the audio?
Yeah, that's
for
good.
us? Okay, Lagos, want to hear the pilot who gave a perspective on the madness between Nigeria and Libya?
Libya yesterday. What was the point of arrival?
The flight plan was to land as destination Benghazi, Benina, but unfortunately, and we got the approval from the Libyan Civil Aviation Authority that we are approved to land in Benghazi, but unfortunately, when we start descent, they asked us to divert to Nabreg, which is at almost 150 miles, that is 300 kilometers around, more far, but it's at the east. So it wasn't our alternate, something which is not good, because in aviation we have our flight plan, we calculate the fuel to our destination, so we have to avoid this kind of thing, because it may make a breach to safety. And when I insist to land in Benghazi according to my flight plan and according to my authorization, they said no. It's from the highest authority. You have to land in Nabreg, Al-Baida. So
the Libyans are saying that it was your discretion to land in
no. Everything is registered. In aviation, we cannot hide anything. So I asked them several times, at least 8 times, and I warned them probably I will be in trouble for fuel. They said it's from highest authority. You cannot land in Benghazi. You have to divert immediately to Nabreg. Thank God we make it safely, and we landed safe in the other airport.
In the event that your company is asked to provide evidence,
even the pilot himself appears confused. He was confused by the eventual
he had to ask 8
last
times.
minute
change
of plans by the Libyans, which came
Exactly.
from the highest authority. Any idea where that could have come from?
So I really don't know. Maybe it could be from the Football Federation, just to spike Nigeria. And concerning the legal action, they said the Super
hold on a
Eagles.
second.
Okay,
We'll take that after the commercial break,
All right.
Lagos. We're just trying to recap what may be developing story out of this situation between Nigeria and Libya, which is, I don't know, it's partly comical and partly disrespectful to us as a collective, and we're hoping that we can get justice, which is what's fair in this situation, while we all wait the outcome. We're off on a break. We'll be right back. You're on the sunny side. My name's Joyce.
Listening to your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This November, prepare for an epic clash of intellects. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition is back. November the 11th, 2024, 32 of Lagos's brightest secondary school students will step up to the mic, where words become weapons and ideas ignite battles. From Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m., they'll face off in fierce debates with only one goal: to be crowned the I Beg to Differ champion. Every round is a fight for glory, where one brilliant mind will rise above the rest. Who will be crowned the champion of thought? The ultimate showdown of wit, wisdom, and will is about to begin. I Beg to Differ Secondary School Debate Competition Season 8 commences Monday, November the 11th at 4 p.m. For sponsorship, please call or WhatsApp 0805-581-5844. I Beg to Differ is proudly supported by Card Center Nigeria Limited, Obiwizi, and Lucas Green Fashion House. It's Customer Service Week, and here at Cool FM, Wazobia FM, Nigeria Info, Kids FM, and Ariwa Radio, we want to appreciate our reputable clients for your constant and continuous patronage.
Flour Mills, Globacom, Cadbury, Unilever, Promasidor, International Breweries, PepsiCo Foods, PZ Cousins Limited, Sterling Bank, Pernod Ricard, Infinix, Bloom, House on the Rock, Owler Foods, Avon HMO, Leadway Assurance, InDrive, Bajaj, TGI Groups, Reliance HMO, ARM Pension, Hairs Insurance, SBC, Hypo Home Care Products, Reckitt, UAC CAP, 9PSB, TOEFL, Mobile, Eco Revenue Summit, Bigger Paint, and many others. We want to thank you for your patronage and assure you of our continuous outstanding service delivery as always, and also offer you more packages to serve you better. You are listening to your number one station for talk.
Your number one station for talk.
99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.
This on your side, 99.3 Nigeria Info. I have Overdose with me in the studio.
Yeah.
And you were looking at the publication.
Yeah,
press
talking about
release.
the legal action that the Libyans were going to take against Nigeria. In fact, they said that the Super Eagles, of course, like you know, the Super Eagles cited safety concerns after being stranded at Al Abrak Airport for over 14 hours following an unexpected diversion. But in their statement, the LFF accused, that's the Libyan Football Federation, accused the Nigerian Football Federation of failing to cooperate in organizing a match and causing the confusion that led to the current situation. The statement said the Libyan Football Federation condemns the measures taken by the Nigerian Football Federation by refusing to play the Libya-Nigeria match in the African Cup of Nations qualifiers scheduled for today, Tuesday, October the 15th, stressing that it will take legal measures to preserve the interests of the Libyan national team. He also mentioned that the incidents beyond its control could not be compared to what their team, that's the Libyan team, experienced in the first leg, suggesting that the Nigerian Federation was responsible for the mishandling of both the initial and return legs.
Wow.
Yeah. It says the Libyan Federation attaches some inhumane footage that did not prevent the Libyan mission from playing the Nigeria-Libya match last Friday in Nigeria out of cooperation with the Confederation of African Football. It clarified that its Nigerian counterpart did not cooperate with it in any way, whether regarding the first or second leg, noting that the events beyond their control do not equal a small part of what the Libyan national team was exposed to in the first leg in Nigeria.
Wow.
So that's it. Wow. Then it offered an apology to Libyan football fans for the confusion and delays in the match arrangement, attributing these issues to the NFF's actions. So he said the Libyan Football Federation apologizes to Libyan football fans everywhere and to the parties concerned with the match arrangements due to the state of confusion caused by the NFF, which led to the match not being held on time. I don't know. And you just hear from the pilot now. It says, I mean, when a team is scheduled to land somewhere and 8 times, he seeks clarification and you say he cannot land because of information or orders from a higher authority. It's just premeditated. Like,
I don't know why you keep repeating the obvious. Of course, it's deliberate, it's premeditated.
But it's the audacity for me to come out and still blame the NFF.
Yeah, I think that's what's making this partly comical, partly psychopathic, because they're saying
there's
now...
nothing comical about it. It's 100% psychopathic.
Because now they're saying that what they even did to you is nothing compared to what you did to them. So you guys must have really...
Did they show any Libyan people at the airport?
Waiting for 13 hours.
Yeah, for 13 hours. You see, when people want the guys...
Okay, do you have an independent body that usually would oversight issues as this in CAF Federation? I don't know, CAF Federation?
So it's CAF, yeah.
So
the Confederation of African Football.
Okay, so now they're the one who oversight this kind of issues,
yes,
and so you're waiting for a judgment. Because I hear that Nigeria and Libya have been delisted. What does that mean?
So it means that the game will no longer hold. Like when you put out fixtures of matches that these fixtures we played on a certain day, delisted means it has been removed from the schedule. Okay. Or from the organization of the matches and the time.
So
due to this, yes, depending on the outcome, whether or not it will be replayed at a neutral venue, or the Confederation of African Football will say, you know what, Nigeria take all 3 points, or the match will be played. I don't know.
In your view, who do you think deserves the advantage in this argument? Who do you think CAF's judgment should benefit?
Except you're blind.
All right.
And I know they're not. It's ostensibly clear to everyone that Nigeria was treated badly. And I wouldn't expect anything less in terms of sanctions to the Libyan FF. And maybe if they are to be banned, I think I'll welcome that. Banned from football activities. Because, I mean, just imagine if Nigeria wasn't that powerful in order to be able to force the hand of the Libyan authorities to get out of Libya. Imagine if it was another country, a lesser country, say Seychelles or Madagascar or Benin Republic. Is this what we're talking about?
Yeah.
Man, it's crazy.
Well, I'm glad that you came.
I'm also glad to have really kept you company, because, that's what I do. I keep you company. We discuss.
I don't want your BS. I don't want your BS. I just want to say thank you for stopping by. What, you want to woo me now?
No. I don't do that.
Thank you very much for... Look, we're off on a break
Joyce,
in Lagos.
Thank you, too. And you look good, by the way.
Thank you.
What's that station? What's that station again?
No. Here's one thing.
99.3 Nigeria Info. We are more than just radio. Subscribe to our YouTube channel at Nigeria Info FM. Check us out on Facebook at Nigeria Info 99.3. Follow us on Twitter at Nigeria Info FM and on Instagram at Nigeria Info FM Lagos for live updates as it happens. 99.3 Nigeria Info. Let's talk.